Hi everybody, John Senior here, and welcome to this special Nobility edition of FunkQuest. We have a gentleman whose Wikipedia page goes on and on and on and on forever. He's been to more Paralympics than I can possibly remember. He's a living legend in the Northeast, and I'm delighted to say that we've also got our Grand Champion Funkster for Season 5 on the show. So we'll start with Sean first. Sean, tell us where you're dialing in from.
I'm dialing in from Port Moody, British Columbia, which is just outside of Vancouver, Canada. If you watched me in season 5, you know it's constantly different locations. This is my first repeat location. I might try to take it from home here on out. And I don't have a Wikipedia page, but I've also been on Wikipedia forever. So we do have some things in common.
If you want to find Sean's address and send him fan mail, go for the episode page for the final. He said he accepts checks, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all kinds of stuff like that. Just send him Amazon vouchers, money, anything like that. Just send it to his address. Sean, tell us what you're doing. 5 words or less.
Answering questions, having fun, always.
Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. And now on to our special guest, Stephen. Tell us where you are dialing in from.
Yeah, I'm dialing in from the northeast of England in a little town called Cramlington near Newcastle.
Is that up from Newcastle or down? Up.
Yeah, about 10 miles north of Newcastle.
That's Charlton, Jackie Charlton territory, isn't it? Cramlington.
Yeah, Ashington. It's not
Ashington.
far from Ashington.
And Stephen, tell us what you do in 5 words or less.
I throw things very far.
There you go. Right.
The rules of FunkQuest are simple. Each Funkster selects one of 4 icons. Behind each icon is a question which may or may not have anything to do with the icon. The Funkster then has 1 minute to tell a story, tell a joke, or maybe even answer the question.
Because we've got a guest, we'll ask our existing champion to go first. So, Sean, you can pick a kite, a caravan, a Roman amphitheatre, or a fox.
I'm going to go with the fox.
Fox. What do you think you could give a 1-hour lecture on with no preparation?
I love this question because it's anything. I have a little bit of the gift of gab. I honestly think I could give a 1-hour lecture on just about everything because I think I could fill enough time and have enough audience engagement that even if I knew nothing, I could get to a level in which they kind of learn something, but at the very least, they feel like they haven't wasted an hour. I know that sounds egotistical. I know it sounds braggy, but it's just something that I've kind of worked on and kind of perfected. And it's something that I've gotten questions like this before, and I honestly think I could go up there and really get after it. Now, if you wanted something that was my actual expertise, something where I really could share some sort of insider information, it probably would be on how to create a movement. So how can you collect people, whether it's at work, in sports, really any sort of engagement, and how can you really bring people together and have them move forward in common momentum? That is something that I'm very passionate about and something that I'd love to do. But yeah, any hour, any stage, just give me a call. I'll be there.
It says on your Twitter that you'll get any podcast, anytime, anywhere, you're the man, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to become a professional podcast guest.
If you want to book Sean, I'm his agent, right? You have to go through me, right? Anyway,
yeah, we're still good on 0%, right?
Yes, 0% commission, zero hours contract. So hopefully Stephen's got the idea of the show. You can pick, Stephen, a kite, a circus caravan, or an amphitheatre.
I'll go for the amphitheatre.
The amphitheatre. This is an easy question. You should know this. What all letters are on the bottom line of a keyboard?
Z,
Yep.
C, V,
Yeah.
B,
Yeah.
N,
Yeah.
M.
I think that's right. Have a look. Is that right?
That's correct. I was following along here. I did have the cheat sheet.
I didn't know. Did you know that, Stephen? Or are you just guessing, or did you?
No, I spend a lot of time typing on the keyboard, so I'm free. I've got like a mental map in my head, so yeah.
Stephen, is it easy for you to type on a keyboard?
I've got a special guard that goes over the top of the keyboard to stop me hitting two keys at once. And then I've been using a keyboard since I was about 5 or 6 years old. So that's probably why I know where all the keys are.
You're probably better at typing than most of us then, because I always hit at least 2 keys at once. I don't know about Sean.
Yeah, it's usually just some gobbledygook when I really get going. But that reading of letters kind of reminded me of the eye test thing. So I wonder how good you are at that as well with the memory. But that was impressive.
Sean, question 2, a horse rider, a blue house, some apples, or a motorbike?
I'll go with the motorbike.
Motorbike. What was the first album you bought with your own money?
I think it was actually the hip hop group Outkast. And it was the Stankonia was the name of the album there. They have a song Bombs Over Baghdad in there that's just really high energy, and it really kind of ramps up, and it kind of reminds me of how I feel my brain works. So it was always one I was really attracted to. But I'm not a big music collector, honestly. So as music started moving towards streaming and things like that, that's kind of probably where I listen to most of it. With that being said, I do have a vinyl collection, and that Outkast album is actually in that vinyl collection now. So I tend to go either the most inconvenient way to listen to music, so the vinyl where you got to keep flipping and changing, or just straight streaming where you kind of mix up artists and things like that.
Flipping and changing is part of the gig, right? Changing over, dusting them and all that.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you get in a good groove, and then 6 tracks later you got to interrupt it. I feel like that's why streaming definitely took it over.
Yeah, and plus you can jump backwards and forwards without moving a finger.
Yeah.
So Outkast.
Yep, Outkast, Stankonia, I believe was the first one, if my memory serves me correct.
Excellent. Stephen, question 2. You can pick a horse rider, a blue house, or some apples.
I'll go for the horse rider.
The horse rider. What would you show extraterrestrials to give them an accurate depiction of the world?
I'll probably take them through the TikTok and get them up and on TikTok, and hopefully that would probably put them off from there. And
put them off.
Probably turn around and get out of here as quick as possible. But I think so. TikTok or any kind of social media, and just to show them how messed up the world is, a very good start, and after that, take them down the pub and have a good conversation over a few pints of beer, and
I take it you're not a TikToker then, Stephen?
No, I'm not. I think I'm too old already for TikTok, which is quite depressing, but I think more of a Twitter person, to be honest. So
Twitter.
I don't really get TikTok. I don't really understand it.
Well, I think it's time to move on before we go down the TikTok hole. Question 3. Sean, you can pick some wax crayons, a man writing, some ladies playing hockey, or a book reader.
Man, the hockey one's intriguing. I'm going to go with the crayons, actually.
Crayons. Where's the worst place you've got lost?
That's interesting, because I think the scariest time I got lost was actually kind of in my own town as a little kid. We were out at a high school football game. Got separated kind of from my parents, and in a panic, I didn't know what to do. So I just started running home, which obviously they were going to look where I was, not where I was going. So that's definitely the scariest place. But perhaps the worst place I got lost, when I really break it down as the result, was in college one time. I couldn't find my way to a certain classroom, so I just didn't go and failed the class because I never showed up because I just couldn't find that classroom.
Nice. I mean, is this before the days of apps and all that kind of stuff? You had to actually have a physical map to, tell you where to go.
Yeah, I'm actually, with the all digital maps, things like that. My dad is a big, is a big map guy. Always took it out whenever we went on trips and did some exploring. We'd always have to go back and rehash where we went, which I thought was very annoying at the time. But thankfully, it did give me the skills to be able to pick up a physical map and still be able to use it. But the turn by turn is choice.
Physical maps. Excellent. Good. Stephen, question 3. You can pick a man writing, some ladies playing hockey, or a book reader.
Yeah, I'll go for the hockey.
What is the worst DIY project you have ever done?
Well, I don't think it's a good question for me, because I'm definitely not born to do DIY. I can tell you that. Probably putting together my putting together my wardrobes from IKEA.
Nobody does them. Nobody
They're
can
the
do
worst, the worst
Yeah.
DIY project ever. I mean, yeah, it seems like a good idea at the time when you buy flat pack furniture, but after 10 hours of trying to work out what screws go where, and there's always one screw in the pack that's missing. You always have one screw that is in there, and yeah, putting my wardrobes up. I mean, I was more supervising than actually doing it, but
Good, like it. Like it.
I think that counts just as much.
Yeah, we got something a while back. It was a chair, and you got all the screws and washers and all that stuff, and you got a bag of spares. And on the instructions it says, "Do not open this unless you are missing one." Because I thought, why is that? I thought if you get them mixed up, it's even worse than having less. You got too many.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. IKEA. Yeah, you're in the bin. Question 4, Sean. You can pick a pizza, some Wellingtons, a lionfish, or a sky ride cable car thing.
I absolutely have to go with the pizza.
Pizza. What would you do if you found $100 in the street?
You know what? In that bonus sort of a scenario, whenever I kind of find money, is I try to find I don't know, something, I don't say frivolous, but frivolous in a non-personal sort of sense. So, go buy a bunch of chocolate and be everyone's friend for a week or so, pass them all out. Or, pick up a round at the bar or something like that for a bunch of randoms. I think in that sort of situation, when you get bonus money, bring other people into the fold and kind of spreading that good in the world. I know it sounds cheesy, but that's just, it's just something that I kind of find fun, because whenever you're playing with house money, the really way to maximize it is to get other people in the fold. So the first thing I'd do if I had it was take a quick look around, make sure that no one was coming back for it. But in that case, try to find out. It'd be a small party at that price, but find a way to kind of make a party or make some fun for someone out there.
Get some chocolate if it gets somebody else. Good, concise, funky answer. That like that. Stephen, question 4. You can pick some red Wellingtons, a lionfish, or a sky ride.
The pink Wellingtons.
Pink Wellingtons. Good question, this for you. What is the most ridiculous thing you ever bought?
When I won a bronze medal at the World Championships in New Zealand, and as well as getting the medal, you always get a little gift as well. And in New Zealand, the gift was a plant in a basket. Yeah, it's really cool, but I live in England. There's no way I can get this plant back to England in one piece. So I ended up actually digging a hole in some grass near the hotel and planting it in a random bit of grass. I still have a bit of land in New Zealand.
There you go.
Very good. Yeah. So when I see on the news all these people from the Paralympics coming home and they're pulling like a suitcase, right, in one hand, and the other hand they've got a plant like this, that'd be you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder what happened to it, this plant? I mean, could we try and track it down? Whereabouts in New Zealand is it?
It's in Christchurch. 2011.
2011. So it'll be a great big tree now, won't it?
Yeah, hopefully I've left a lasting legacy to my village.
That's good. That's good. Excellent. So we've got to find out what's happened to this tree. I don't know how, but get somebody from New Zealand on the show. Get them.
Well, they add the plant location to your Wikipedia page. I mean, there's enough on there. You can make it a new tourist attraction. Visit my tree.
We'll get that added on. Stephen planted a plant here. We could do with a photograph. Johnny, noodles, teacup, umbrellas, or some young ladies doing yoga.
I'm going to go with the yoga.
Yoga. This is a good car for you, North American. What car would be your dream car?
Oh, so you said like in North America, I'm going to have to go with probably the least fuel efficient thing I could think of. It would be a 1961 Cadillac. So a really huge one that drives like a boat, full steel, things like that. And I want it in a nice Sunday drive baby blue. It's always a car that I've, when I was a little kid, just saw it at a car show or something like that, it kind of, just attracted got to me. But it's something that you have to drive nice and slow. At this rate, it would cost way too much to fill it with gasoline and things like that. So, but that one, just something I could drive on Sundays, nice and slow, and kind of wave at people with a big old smile. The 61 Cadillac with big fins and nice baby blue. I think that would be that's my ultimate dream car. Don't know if it's the one I'll ever get a chance to get behind the wheel of, but it is certainly one I'd love to have in my driveway.
You'd park outside a hamburger joint and let people take photographs, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't driving from gas station to gas station because it's wasting so much.
Yeah, wait. How much would it cost to fill one of them up?
Oof, I couldn't even tell you right now. It probably wouldn't be that large of a tank overall,
No.
But it would just burn right through it. In fact, just talking about it, we have to fill up.
Yeah, it'd be old style gasoline, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be new. It wouldn't probably be not even what we'd used to call 4-star.
Yeah, no, old and bad. So, I'm glad they're just parked outside of, at parades and things like that and not actually on the road every day.
Stephen, question 5. Some noodles, a teacup, or an umbrella?
I'll go for noodles.
What do you think about before going to sleep?
Yeah, well, I tried to think about going to sleep for the park and that, thinking about taking over the world the next day, and normally for me it's about like I'm an athlete, so I train that every day of the week, so I'm mainly thinking about what I need to do the next day and how much work I'm gonna have to put in, and then but quite when it comes to sleep, the most interesting story for me is about like when you compete, because when you compete, you get really nervous about doing well. Even when you get older, actually, when you get older, you get more nervous because you never know when it's going to be your last competition. So yeah, for me, it's all about like trying to relax and trying to de-stress. So I'm quite big on meditation. So I do a little bit of meditation, bit of mindfulness, maybe write in the diary, write down all my fears, all my thoughts, try to process all the crazy stuff that's going on in my head, and then hopefully get a good night's sleep.
How do you, let's say you've been at a competition, world championships or whatever, in an evening session, which might finish at, say, 9:30, 10 o'clock. What time do you go to sleep after all that kind of hype and adrenaline? How long does it take to go to sleep then?
Yeah, when you compete at night time, it's really hard. I remember when I competed in Beijing, and we didn't finish till about 10 o'clock at night. And so it's very hard to get the mind to switch off. And you got all the adrenaline as well. So it normally takes quite a lot of beers to get to sleep. So yeah, it takes a few pints of beer to get.
You're not a big drinker, are you?
No, I drink when it's necessary. but I always say, like, I'm not a track athlete. I'm not a runner. I'm a thrower. So yeah.
Yeah, but athletes are athletes, right? Your body is
part of my training to have a pint. So that's my recovery.
Yeah, throwing them back helps you throw it forward. I got you. I'm with you.
I just thought you, Olympic, Paralympic types, would be very strict. But what's it, Newcastle Brown for you?
I'm not a big fan. It's a bit too strong for me, Newcastle Brown.
Yeah, Newcastle Brown Ale, actually, yeah. My brother's actually a big fan of it.
Okay, that's the end of the show. So at this point, we ask these gentlemen how we can contact them. Sean, how do we contact you and book you to be on our podcast?
So I've given away my Instagram, my Twitter. I even gave away a physical mailing address in the final as well. So I guess this time I'll have to go to Facebook. It's really the only thing I've left. Shawnee Hill, or you look up Shawnee Talks to the Camera. It's kind of an old fan page I used to have, but if you want to reach out to me through there, I'd love to come on your podcast if you have one.
Stephen, how can we find out more about you and send you plants and other beer and things like that?
I'm quite contactable. If you just Google Stephen Miller Paralympian, you'll probably get my website. But my website is stephenjamesmiller.co.uk, and my email is stephen@smileToSport.com. And I'm on Twitter at Fabio on Twitter, and Stephen Miller MBE on Facebook. So yeah, just if you want to get me, I'm sure you can find me.
It'll not be hard to find. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the show. We'll see you at some point in the future. Thanks a lot and take care.
Yeah, thanks.
Pleasure.